Hey, it's Randy with Old 18. If you don't have a plan, you already, by default, have a plan for failure. One of my favorite movie lines of all time is from Hunt for Red October, when the Admiral's talking to Jack Ryan. And he says, "Son, the Russians don't take a dump without a plan." Okay? I'm paraphrasing, but is he wrong? No. Okay. Anything that you're trying to accomplish, whether that is like me trying to get better at doing social media, you have to have a plan. So let me talk about something non-military that is actually in our lane, and that's fishing. If you're getting ready to go to a fishing tournament and you haven't made a plan to get your boat gassed up and ready to go and cleaned and set up, and all your rods are there with the right kind of line and the right kind of lures, and you've done your homework on whether it's saltwater, freshwater salinity, or maybe the pH or the temperature, or whether the time of year and what the fish are doing, whether they're bedding down or in the grass. If you haven't done your homework on all of that stuff, and created yourself, say, a route to get to the spots where you believe at that time of year and that day with the cloudiness and everything else, all the details, if you haven't set a plan before you start the motor and head off, then you're planning to fail. Okay? You already are going to fail. So I also hate the expression, a plan is just something to deviate from. That is the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard in my life. Plan is meant to be set out. You are going to have failures. You need to look at all the potential spots where you're going to have failures, or potentially could have a failure. Try to figure out what you do if that does happen, and then if and when it does happen, you're able to adjust and move on. So it's pretty simple. Everything you do have to have a plan. I am trying to generate a decent plan for marketing through social media, and man, it is not easy. The volume of information out there is ridiculous. But my plan is set. However, every day I change it, or I hone it, or I move it in a different direction based on solid advice, based on what's happening, the metrics that we're receiving back. It's changing what we're doing. So as much as I'd love to say that the plan was set in stone and it stayed that way, it didn't. But it's getting better as we go. So with that said, you got to have a plan. You don't have a plan, you might as well just give up now.